Part A. Before the conversation. Get real. My dad always used to say to me and my sister, "The world is a mirror." As a kid, I would repeat the phrase, but I never really thought about what he was trying to tell us. Then one day he stood me in front of a mirror and said, "Smile." I did, and the person in the mirror smiled back at me. He said, "Look angry." I gave the girl in the mirror a nasty look and got the same nasty look right back. He then sat me down and explained the lesson. What you show the world is what the world will show you. The energy you put out, the thoughts you share, are the energy that you will receive from the world, the thoughts you will hear. So true is this that I later realized there are a million sayings that express the same idea. What you give is what you get. You reap what you sow. What goes around comes around. And my favorite, karma's a bitch. Over the years, this concept has crystallized for me. As I completed my education and began building my career, I saw more than ever how the world is a mirror plays itself out in life. I noticed that whether I was working with a new client or an established colleague, the energy I brought to the situation deeply impacted it. If I was having a rough day, the encounter would be difficult. If I was feeling confident and on top of my game, the encounter would be positive and productive. My attitude at any given moment, how I thought, my assumptions about a situation, how I acted, influenced other people's first impressions of me. It was how they formed their perceptions of me, and it influenced the connection between us. The more aware I became of my own mood, the more I was able to ensure that my authentic self came through during different situations, and I was able to adjust my behavior when necessary to communicate in the most effective ways. What does it all boil down to? Some of the work of making meaningful connections and growing relationships happens before you even meet someone. Taken together, the 4 chapters in this section are about increasing our awareness of what is genuine and valuable, in short, likable about us, and discovering how the energy we bring to a situation impacts other people's perceptions of us and our ability to connect at a meaningful level. Understanding these things is the first step toward expressing our likability to others. Once we fully recognize this likability, we can harness it to create lasting, mutually positive connections with the people in our lives, whether we've known them for years or are just meeting them for the first time. Chapter 1. The Law of Authenticity. Be your authentic self. Your authentic self is who you are when you have no fear of judgment, or before the world starts pushing you around and telling you who you're supposed to be. Dr. Phil McGraw, a.k.a. Dr. Phil, psychologist and TV show host. Samuel was a mid-level manager at a prestigious New York City museum. He attended a day-long workshop I conducted on assertiveness, and during the program he barely spoke, though he did take copious notes. At the end of the day, he hung back and waited for everyone else to leave, then approached me. He expressed his deep frustrations about feeling overwhelmed when navigating the dinners, conferences, and other business and social functions he was required to attend as a member of the museum's development team, a position to which he had recently been promoted. As he told me about his goals for the museum, his passion for his work was clear, so I was shocked when he admitted that he was thinking about quitting. He said that he thought his networking ineptitude would hurt the museum, and that therefore he was the wrong person for the job. I voiced my hunch that this networking apprehension was something he could overcome. He seemed encouraged by my words. In order to devise a plan to try to help him deal with the challenges, I needed to see him in action to better understand his unease. So he invited me to attend an upcoming fundraising event at the museum, where I could assess his handling of the situation myself. I accepted the offer. No sooner had I arrived at the event when I was suddenly jarred by a loud bark of laughter. I turned to find out who made the noise, and was startled to see that it was Samuel. I couldn't believe that the harsh, off-putting sound I just heard had come from the same mild-mannered person I'd been speaking with just a few days earlier. As the night continued, Samuel kept a brittle smile plastered on his face. Every now and then he caught my eye and raised his eyebrows to indicate he was working the crowd. But by the end of the night, he looked exhausted by the strain of the immense effort he had put forth. And that was just the problem. He had been working it, as in working at it, rather than just being, talking, listening, sharing. When we spoke about the evening afterward, he was disheartened, if not surprised, to learn that I had seen through the smile. But I was trying so hard to be engaging, he explained. To act as it seems a successful person in my position would. I know, I responded. That's the problem. When we come from an authentic, genuine place in ourselves, our efforts to connect with people work to their fullest. Our relationships develop more easily and last longer, and we feel better about the people we've brought into our lives and our work. I've spent time coaching students on how to prepare for one of the most fundamental business interactions, the job interview. I remember watching again and again as one of my students, Raj, froze while tackling the task. He had a dry sense of humor and could chat easily in casual conversation. But as soon as we'd start doing a mock interview, his personality would disappear. I tried distracting him away from being self-conscious. But the second he realized I was posing an interview question, he became stiff and formal and very, very serious. Even his word choices changed. What I tried to impress upon him, and what he finally understood, is that there is no right or wrong way to interact with people. There is no one correct way to be. What feels right for one person may feel all wrong for another. What matters most is what feels right for you. As soon as Raj started being himself in our mock interviews, he was able to think more flexibly and respond more quickly and just generally become far more engaging. His likability was coming through.